But if you forget, just do your little exercise. Unfortunately, we live in a world that has many problems. We have divided communities. We have broken families. We have anxiety within ourselves from time to time. We look at politics and economics and self-help exercises, but our culture remains deeply fractured. Today, we will look at the one answer that has stood the test of time, and that is love. As you probably know, there's many different types of love. I was surprised to learn that there's actually 6 types, according to the ancient Greeks. I thought there was only 4. And I'm not sure I can pronounce them all correctly, but I'm going to go through them. I'm going to start with the least significant and go to the most significant. The least significant is xenia. This is guest love or hospitality. In ancient Greeks, it was very appropriate to welcome strangers and travelers into your home, and it's something that we don't feel comfortable with in our day and age. But there's many things we can do. We can volunteer, we can offer funds, donations, and so forth, and so that we can address the issue of strangers and visitors this way. When Katrina hit New Orleans, I was living in Corpus Christi, and there was an empty, gigantic arena that had restroom facilities. It was covered, big space, and I had 2,000 Katrina refugees right across the street from me, literally. And I thought, well, at least I can go over there and see if I can volunteer, and they wouldn't take me. They did eventually, but they said, you have to go to the Red Cross and get appropriate training. And so I did, so I was able to work with other situations that were similar after that. But that's just one example of what you can do when we're talking about welcoming strangers. The next is philatia, or self-love. The Greeks divided this into 2 categories. The negative, which is narcissism, selfishness, pride. The other is the positive, having self-compassion, recognizing your inherent worth, and taking care of your soul. The great teacher Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself. If we don't have self-love, we'll have a difficult time loving others. The next type is eros. Of course, that's my favorite. Romantic love, passionate love. It's based on desire, attraction, chemistry, and passion. It's powerful. It's an intense force. But it can also be very fleeting in nature. The next type, and I'm really not sure how to pronounce this one. I believe it's storge. This is familiar or protective love. This is our love within our families, parents and children. It's built on shared blood, dependency, and a very deep sense of belonging. The next type is philia. This is brotherly love. This is the love of very deep friendships, companionships. It's a bond shared between equals that have common interests, values, common experiences, best friends. Now, the number one most important type of love, and this is the one I'm primarily talking about today, and that is agape. This is unconditional, sacrificial love. It's the highest form of love. It overarches all the other types. It's not based on feelings or passion or whether the recipient deserves it. I'm going to repeat that. Or whether the recipient deserves it. I'm going to have a challenge for you at the end of my talk. Remember that I said that, whether the recipient deserves it. It is a deliberate choice of the will to desire and act for the absolute best of another person. Agape is the unconditional glue that keeps all the other forms of love alive and healthy. It can dissolve misunderstandings and disagreements. As Paul once wrote, knowledge puffs up, but love, as agape, builds up. Agape should be considered not as a religious doctrine, but rather as a spiritual law of the universe. As we define God as universal spirit, of which we are all a part, we must remember that God is agape. God is love. Always has been, always will be. And it follows that as individual particles of God, we also are love. Love is the only force capable of turning an enemy into a brother. I had to cut a lot out of my speech. It was way too long. Here's an example. So if love is the answer, we cannot keep it to ourselves. A theory of love doesn't change the world. The practice of love does. This week, stop looking for complex solutions or other ideas for the brokenness around us, and start applying the simple, radical love of agape. Apply it to every room you walk into. And we're going to do a meditation in a little bit that will show you how to do that. Agape is a covenant. It's not a contract. Contractual love says, I will love you if. I love you because. Agape says, I love you, period. This is why agape is the answer. It is the only thing powerful enough to break the cycle of human brokenness. When you walk out of this door today, I hope that you will begin to deliberately practice agape. When we love the person who has hurt us, when we serve the person who cancels us, when we give to the person who can never repay us, we show the world a glimpse of universal spirit. In a church such as ours, that views God as the universal spirit, agape isn't just an attribute of God. It is the frequency of the divine spirit itself. We're all part of this one universal energy. Agape is the connective tissue. It is the realization that because we are all interconnected in the spirit, what I do to you, I ultimately do to myself. The golden rule says, so in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. This is from Matthew 7. Jesus is giving us a law of spiritual physics in this statement. If we're all part of the same spiritual energy, treating others with agape is the only logical way to live. We are sending out the exact energy that we wish to receive. We all desire to be in alignment with universal spirit. It is the source of love, of life, and energy. But how do we stay in the flow when our daily life can pull us in many different directions? We do this by actively choosing to extend goodwill, peace, and grace to every person we encounter, recognizing that they carry the same divine spark as we do. We can actually tune in to agape. It has its own frequency and its own vibration. Low frequency energies are things like the emotions of fear, anger, jealousy. They operate at a dense, slow frequency. When we're stuck in this frequency, we're heavy, we are isolated, we're disconnected from universal spirit. High frequency energy states such as joy, peace, gratitude, enthusiasm, these vibrate much faster. Agape is the supreme frequency. It is the absolute alignment with Source. Because it is unconditional, it doesn't depend on outside circumstances. It's like a radio station that keeps broadcasting whether people are listening or not. The frequency of agape pours out love, light, and goodwill to the universe continuously and unconditionally. When you walk into a tense meeting or a family argument, your physical vibration might speed up, but what frequency are you tuned into in that moment? If you tune into the frequency of defense, anger, or ego, you just add more static to the situation. When we consciously choose agape, we change the atmosphere of the room. We stop absorbing the low frequencies of the world, and we start broadcasting the healing energy of the universe. Marked out more.
Second message.
There you go. Think of the writer of the first epistle of John, who boldly claimed God is love. He didn't say God is like love. He pointed to the very nature of the universe and said the primary source code of existence is agape. The Roman poet Virgil gave us the phrase, love conquers all. Amor vincit omnia. In the language of energy, this isn't just wishful thinking. It is a law. A higher frequency always reorganizes a lower frequency. Darkness cannot conquer light. It can only disappear when light shows up. Fear cannot conquer love. It dissolves in the presence of it. This leads us to the ultimate realization that poets and sages have echoed through the ages. Love is all there is. All there is love. I believe I'm citing the Beatles. Every division we see, every ounce of hatred, every moment of fear is simply a low frequency distortion. It is static on the line, but beneath the static, the baseline, and this says hum of the universe. I want to say of the universe remains pure, unconditional agape. Our job this week is to quiet the noise, tune our hearts back to that original station, and send out love to everyone we meet. I have one more challenge for you this week, and that is, listen to this carefully. This is a message that I received and was told to tell everyone. Love the most those which you wish least to love. So I hope you will go about your week, your days, and remember that. As people come into your life, send out love. Whether you have a good vibration about them or a bad vibration about them. But that's what I want you to be doing. So now, if you will, join me in a little meditation. Get comfortable. Stand and wriggle around a bit if you need to. You'll have to excuse my voice. Been having whatever that is it's the massive cough thing. I'm over it, but it still kind of affects my voice. All right, if you will, close your eyes. Let's take 3 slow, deep breaths. Breathe it in through our nose, out through our mouth. And as you release that breath, relax your shoulders, relax your back, just relax your body. Now, begin to see through a pinpoint of light coming in through the top of your head. See that brilliant white light of the universe. Begin to fill your head and come down through your neck, through your shoulders. Brilliant, brilliant white light. Light of love. Relaxing your shoulders. Coming down through your arms, through your chest. Bring that light down. Down through your legs. And with energy from the bottom of your feet, feel yourself having that energy go deep down into the center of the earth and grounding you. Now I want you to see that brilliant white light coming out from your heart and filling this entire room with brilliant, brilliant white light. See, it stretches it throughout the entire house. See it moving out into the neighborhood. White light energy everywhere in the neighborhood. See it filling the towns of Sherman and Denison, the counties, the entire state of Texas filled with brilliant, brilliant, brilliant white light. Light that is the love of everything, the love of the universe. Now we see it going out to the entire United States of America. Brilliant light, filling every corner of our country. Now seeing it extending out to the hemisphere, all the countries that are there, fill them all with the brilliant light. Fill them all with love. And now let's put that energy out to the rest of the world. See our world, every corner of it, with shining, gorgeous, beautiful, loving white light. But all the places where there's fighting and war, put extra light on those places. And I hope that as you go about your days, you will shine light on those places. Help them to heal. Help them to move forward. And now, gently, 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 come back, leaving the light around the world, but come back into yourself, back into this room. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. I will tell you that anytime you're going into a meeting, anytime you're going to a doctor's appointment, begin before you even go into the building to shine light from your heart ahead of you into the building, filling the rooms where you're going to be with wonderful white light. And you'll find that as you do this, that miracles will begin to happen in your lives. See your customers coming in with white light. There's lots of things you can do with that light, but it needs to be the light of the universe coming through you, out through your heart, and out to the rest of the world. If you will, I'm going to read what Gloria posted in one of our newsletters recently, which I find to be quite wonderful, and that is the Aramaic interpretation into English of the Lord's Prayer. O breathing life of all existence, you who dwell in the dimension of light and vibration from which all things emerge, may the sacred vibration through which you organize reality be recognized and honored in everything you do. May the sacred queendom, the divine feminine creative principle, fully express itself in earthly reality as it does in the dimension of light. May your loving desire for the full expression of divine consciousness be realized in earthly reality as fully as it is in the dimension of light. Provide us today with the nourishment, physical, emotional, and spiritual, that we genuinely need for our personal full flourishing. Release us from the energetic knots we have accumulated as we release others from the grip of our resentment toward them. Do not let us become lost in the illusion of separation from you, but free us from the immature consciousness that arises from that forgetting. For the divine feminine creative principle, the power of life and the radiance of all existence belongs to you through all cycles of time. So be it, grounded in me, expressed through me, made real in the world through my conscious participation. So be it. All right. Billy, are you closing?
Can.
Yes,
We do have one more thing to do. You ready?
Go ahead with that.
Okay. If you're able to stand, which I got to talk